And here we are in the final tale of the Kobolds. No, that's not giving my kobolds, our kobolds, enough credit. For this tale of the kobolds, we actually jump forward in time from our previous session. In the course of correcting the choice to destroy the Staff of Power, now that the main threat of those who could misuse its power are gone, there is still the choice of renewing Yithrin. But that is an impossibility without the Staff of Power. At least, not without a Staff of Power. And our kobolds are a very smart bunch. A very resourceful bunch. And over the course of 4 months, and learning all the secrets of Yithrin in that time, you all have reconstructed the Staff of Power, but made it to your own design. To which I recall was a staff made of that alien metal that you had found so long ago, and reshaped it into a form of, I believe, the head of the staff being a form of muerte, or at least in axe-speak, with in the jaw, the eye of a real Arthas as the staff's source of power. And over that course of time, you have gathered your resources, even gathering allies, in the case of Scales, who traveled the land trying to barter with all the different tribes of Yetis. And though many were very unkeen to the idea of taking on a Rage race, there were a select few who have taken on this task, as it were, have taken on the challenge. A completely bloodthirsty and wild tribe of about a dozen or so Yetis, some of which are elderly and unable to fight, but like a good fighting force of around 7 or so Yetis are primed and at your not quite command Scales, but definitely allied with you in that sense. So there are around 7 Yetis who are at your beck and call. Oh, sorry, that contradicts what I said. Who are allied with you and will raise the banner. Their banner of blood and skulls to fight with you. Among other things as well, Velin herself has gathered a bunch of secrets regarding the spell book of a real Arthas, and has learned many new spells of which to take advantage of, which hopefully will prove extremely useful. Because there is one more fight to be made. One last enemy to kill. One of the very few reasons that you entered Yithrin to begin with. To collect artifacts and spells of immense power to even take down this entity. The White Dragon, Arveatrace, the White Worm, and the murderer of one savage, your former friend. So, as these months passed, there have been opportunities that you might have been able to have seized. And of course, this is a choice among players at this time, because a spell has been chosen, which could perhaps bring back a previously fallen companion. But before we get to that, the kobolds, using the power of the staff, have used it to destroy the obelisk. and in doing so, freed Yithrin from the source of the miasma, allowing it the opportunity, a chance to rebuild, and be inhabited once again. Let me go back, though, to you, Kobolds, and let me direct us to you, Meepo. You have become greatly attuned with Eldath these past few days. More secrets that she has bestowed upon you, more knowledge that you've accumulated by her power. The power to even resurrect the dead. You would have gotten in contact with Rhiannoch at some point during these 4 months. So let me ask you, Meepo, Molo, would you have tried to resuscitate Savage?
In a heartbeat. In fact, the moment we got up out of Yithrin, I was in that cave looking for him and trying to raise him up.
Okay. So, in that case, you would have traveled to the Evermelt, a great source of Eldath's power. And in that place, this place, it's quite beautiful there. You see many different types of animals slowly begin to evacuate from the Evermelt, no longer being forced to live there because of the harshness of the wilds. You can see it, just feel how warm it is inside this place. Lush greenery, all different kinds of wildlife, all now returning to their homes. But in the center, floating above, this enormous pool of spring water. You can see the heat rising off. Not quite fully a hot spring, but just enough that's, to be fair, in these frozen wastes, it's as much of a hot spring as you'll ever find. And you see Rhiannoch has prepared the body of Savage, who is as pristine as the day that he lost his life. That same smile of satisfaction that he had allowed his friends to escape the white dragon unharmed, and his sacrifice was certainly not forgotten. How do you proceed, Meepo?
I will take the diamond and... Did he ever get a prosthetic eye? Or was he just putting his eye patch on?
Eye patch.
Okay. I will take the diamond and I'll put it where the eye patch is and cover the eye patch over the diamond. And then begin to cast this spell, which takes about an hour. And just kind of like let it float in the Evermelt. While I like hold my arms under it so it doesn't sink. For that hour.
So you push him under the water?
No, I hold him up at the top of it.
You hold him up. Sorry, I misheard. You hold him up. And he is quite heavy. He is, even in his deathless state, very much a very muscular individual. But you soldier on for that whole hour. You begin chanting. And there is this serene quiet that takes control of the Evermelt. Drip, blip, 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 blip. Just the sound of running water is all that you hear. Your heart begins to pound in your chest as the ritual comes to a close. And so, let me ask, Savage, is your soul willing to return?
You better believe it. I would imagine if you could see into the spectral plane where might see spirits. My ghost is just haunting my body, like above it, ready to go.
Indeed. And as soon as Meepo concludes that ritual, whoom, your spirit just dive bombs right into that body. And Savage, you take your first breath. In around 5 months, your body is aching. Raise Dead, while it is a powerful spell, there are some terrible things to deal with coming back from the dead. It doesn't restore missing body parts. Your eye is still missing.
Do you want your eye back? I can give it back. Good as new.
Let me think on it.
Alright.
Let me just get this crick out of my back.
Yeah. Like it is a full, like the cracking of the previously very quiet Evermilk just like resounds throughout the entire cave. It is echoing. So for coming back from the dead, you have a -4 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks until you finish a long rest. But thankfully, because Meepo mentioned that they did this as soon as they left Yithrin, so by this point, to the present day, all those debuffs would be gone.
So I've been alive for at least 4 days now.
At least 4 days, yes. So I will ask, how does Savage react? Like I will say at this point, as you will all meet up, back. This is before, of course, the Staff of Power is completed. Since we said they were doing this at the beginning. So I will ask, as you all gather to your reunion between your fellows, how do you all react to each other? I think it's time to...
Hey, buddy. How's it been?
Oh, other side's, bleak, boring.
I don't think you fully crossed over yet. You were only kind of in one of those interim spots since we'd stopped your full movement, if you will. I imagine you would have probably ended up in Valhalla.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'm sore otherwise, but as far as the rest of you guys go, I don't know who you are, pointing at Scales. Hawks, you're bigger than I remember. And how do you muzzle Muerte?
Muerte doesn't even... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so careful, Steven, you're breathing a bit into your mic. Muerte, like as soon as she sees you, Muerte just starts shaking, just vibrating. Like, all their feathers are like poofed upward. Just this is like running, like she full on tackles you. I thought I'd never see you again. So yeah, Muerte can talk now. Savage.
I don't remember casting Speak with Animals.
You do not need to.
We awakened Marte.
I was gonna say, let me explain, but it's a lot. There's a lot that happened since you ran into a Beatrice. We were going to the whale, right? That's where you were last?
Uh, I, I don't remember a whale. I remember
Oh, the
a
bell.
bell.
We were going to the bell, and the bell summoned a whale.
Uh,
And the whale brought us to the island where Arl was. And, long story short, Hawks, you want to tell the story?
Well, you see, there was this island, and we found you on it, uh, as a popsicle. So I guess Oral decided to come by and pick you up after our encounter with the white worm, and so we recovered you. And then we were going to try and get something, to steal something from Oral. Her book of edgy poetry, which is important for other reasons. And we met Scales along the way. We met Scales right before we went to the island, actually. I'm telling this out of order.
That's
A lot
alright.
happened.
And I met them somewhere in the middle somewhere. And Villain will kind of step in. Hi, I believe I've only seen you in passing, but we don't think we've formally met. I'm Villain. She kind of step in and kind of reach down and try to reach out for a handshake.
Savage. Reaches, grabs her hand, and just kind of squeezes. Doesn't shake, but just squeezes.
Ha! Obviously, like, are you trying to like really force your strength out, or?
No, just like working the muscles, making sure they're good, and like testing grip strength.
Sure, roll a strength check for me, just for fun. Not in a way to hurt her, but just to see.
This is within the time of the resurrection debuffs, right?
No, I'd say you would have taken some time to travel back. That would have taken some time. 17. You see, she winces slightly, like obviously not in pain, but more like just she didn't expect the strength of the the handshake in general. Very firm. I can see definitely why they think so highly of you, just from observation. And clearly why they wanted to take some revenge. Perhaps we should clue him in on the plan, then. If we have one.
We didn't
First,
even get to the good part.
I was gonna say, first we should tell him that Oral's dead.
Right, they killed a god. Or else the avatar of one. It took a long time for me to believe it, but... she shrugs.
Sorry you didn't get to join in.
Eh. At least it's warmer now. Don't need this cloak as much.
That
They've certainly gone through a lot to get you back. That's for certain.
We also killed a demi-lich.
Hua?
It was a floating, flaming skull that screamed really loud. It was really strong.
And now we have its city. Or at least we will.
Right, the edgy poetry was like a key to opening the path to the city. It was long.
Details aside, there's just two real quick things that I need to get taken care of here real quick.
Anything we can help with?
Archaeo out of nowhere. It's like I like in the distance. There's just a miniature explosion. Here, you know what? Hang on. Let me let me roll from where to save real quick. Come on. There we go. All right, athletics check from Muerte. Ooh. Savage, as you go to Batista Bomb, Muerte actually sidesteps you, and using the full force of just her head, like she's completely avoiding hitting you with the axe, with the trident part of her axe blade attachment. She like full on like headbutts you in the stomach and like knocks you 5 feet in the air, and you go you like backwards somersault 3 times before landing on her back.
Glad to see you're not rusty.
I've learned much in your absence. I've tried to learn from your example. I think
That's good.
I had a good teacher. Are you okay? Do I need to put you down for a second?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
That's gonna lead us to our second line of action of I need some gingerbread cookies.
I might have some.
Do we have any left?
No. I need
I have-
fresh.
I have one left.
The lonely one.
Tell only one. So, so I will say, for the sake of time, you, of course, go to Lonelywood, get yourself some cookies. I'll say you get enough. I'll say you have like enough of a hero's welcome that you can just get gingerbread cookies essentially on demand. As long as there's a supplies available, and you know, obviously you're not gonna get like a hordes, like a whole keep's worth of cookies, but you know, you get enough to keep you guys fed, and of course, the speaker of Lonelywood is very happy to see you again, Savage.
I think we told him that he was dead, didn't we?
I believe you did, yes. So yeah, she is very happy that he is alive. And would of course given you like at least a dozen cookies just for Savage alone. So you probably would have eaten them in the 4-month time span. But I will say that is a good enough segue where you guys will begin collecting your resources and begin informing Savage of the plan to kill our Vader race using the artifacts that you've collected and some new tricks that you've been planning on the side, involving certain magical items and resources prepared. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Eventually, though, this leads in the culmination of the creation of the Staff of Power. And with that, as I mentioned before, you destroy the obelisk. I will say, during that time, Skinnuk, make 3 Arcana checks for me. And you, of course, you can add Emboldening Bond, whatever guidance you need, whatever applicable buffs you no doubt would have tried to cast during this time.
Right. And this is just
Right.
before the fight.
I will say yes. This will be just before.
Okay. So
Arcana, you
I
said.
will death ward on myself.
It is Arcana, yes.
Okay. So,
Warding bond on
Okay.
yeah.
So a 30, 20.
18, 30, and 21.
on
Okay. I will say that the Staff of Power is not destroyed in the process. So you have a
yes.
Staff of Power. So what are you going to say? Sorry.
I said, so yeah, that's the thing that can happen. Yes. Forgot.
Yep. That's why I said you could add whatever buffs you no doubt would have cast during that, because I know you would have. It would have only been fair. So as far as how many charges the staff has left, however, let's see, 18. So the 30 was obviously the 30 that you rolled was enough to keep the staff from being destroyed. As far as charges that you have, let's see, the staff has a total of 20 charges. I will say the staff has 10 charges remaining. So 10 of 20 charges.
I see. Okay.
And
Yeah,
so usually it's meant for a wizard, but I believe I said that's could possibly wield it as well. Because, the staff was made before artificers were made.
Right, yeah.
I feel like it should be,
Okay.
I feel like I would allow it in this case.
All right.
Especially since he's the one that made it.
Yeah, especially since you're the one that made it, correct. Yes.
So, okay. So is this like a permanent lowering or a temporary lowering? Or like a drain on the charges?
I'm gonna say it's a temporary drain. I'd say you rolled high enough overall that it's only temporary.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
You were using the D4 from Emboldening Bond, right?
I was.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was assuming you would know that I had that going. I should throw
Yep.
that for posterity's sake. But that's one use of it. So.
So, with that in mind, as you destroy the obelisk, you get the sense that there is a great release that is occurring. A rush of positive energy floods the entirety of this corpse of a city. It's almost as if it's very invigorated in a way. And Glenn will say to you, "Good. Now that we've done that, there's only one place left to go. If we want to raise the city. To the Mythala."
Do the myth.
So, I'm going to, for the sake of this, I'm going to put you all there. You rush your way towards this location. Let me see here. Delete those tokens I had there. What? Hang on. Sorry, I just pasted your tokens on the map and it only pasted villains for some reason, and now my laptop is freezing. I'm sorry, forgive me.
Is it affecting the Twitch stream?
No, because this is only affecting my separate laptop,
Okay.
the one I'm doing the DM stuff on. Because I have the streamer site up there.
I didn't know which one you had this stream going on.
Yeah, thankfully it doesn't affect that. Thankfully. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to move you guys there.
By the way, if there are any streamers, now's a good time to mention the maps.
That would be an extremely fantastic idea. So, there have been a select few individuals who have really made this experience something that I've really enjoyed. It's made my prep time and the overall experience, like just with the ambience, the atmosphere, made a lot more enjoyable. And that would be specifically maps done by Tessa Morecroft on DM's Guild. She's done this map that we're on currently, and many other maps that I've introduced throughout the campaign. She has done very good work. Has overall made my life a lot easier, especially with a new job. I haven't had a lot of time to make new maps, for this campaign. So it's really been extremely helpful, especially with how good quality they are as well. And overall, this music that we're listening to right now, for instance, is done by the wonderful and talented Travis Savoie, specifically from his Winter's Wrath album, which was specifically made for Rime of the Frost Maiden. And overall, it's just been... I've just greatly enjoyed... I'll say on this side as well, I have greatly enjoyed running this campaign, and I know this is saying it a bit too soon, but I've genuinely enjoyed this campaign with you all. And as we go towards this final encounter, so you all approach the Mythalar. You see what is practically looks like at first glance its own miniature sun. It is a brilliant golden orb, at least like a 30-foot diameter in total. It is raised up on this massive steel dais with a long kind of like hooked arch just over the top of it, and it is swirling in place, waiting for its magic to be tapped into. And you'll see a familiar face pop up. You'll see the form of Everlast, the construct made of light, appear next to you all. So, you have finally gotten rid of the miasma, and now the city can be once again lifted into the air.
Yeah.
Excellent. It may be a bit bumpy, but one must only attune to the Mythala. Ones who are of a spellcasting variety. Lynn, of course, will step forward.
Let's get this party started. So is this going to be the No. That'll be a weird thing to ask.
Considering how high level you guys are, battle could range from here to many other places, depending on your decisions. So I honestly cannot answer that truthfully.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I'll figure it out. Alright. Let's get this started. Lift the city.
All right. So you all begin to tap into this vast power. Everlast does warn you not to draw too close. Specifically, do not touch the orb, otherwise you will be destroyed. You'll be completely destroyed by simply touching it. But as for your attunement, you feel as if the very city itself responding to your call. You can feel the very stone itself begin to retch, writhe, and grind against the ice. With three of you here, it's a bit of a struggle. I'll say, for the sake of it, just for fun, roll an Arcana check for me, for those of you who are attuning to this. I'm rolling for villain, so this will be an Arcana check.
Man! Okay. I'm going to go ahead and flash a genius that for a total of quite a bit more. 24, 29.
29? Okay. What would probably only take... oh, I don't know. Perhaps hours upon hours to fully grasp. You solve within mere minutes. It's as if the very city itself was calling to you, begging to be released from its icy tomb. And as it responds to your call, it flies towards the ceiling. And Everlast will say, "You might want to hold on to something." as the city bursts through the glacier. You can sense the city is just grinding through the ice. And to be fair, the icy cavern was quite voluminous. So perhaps the distance between where the cavern's roof is and the top of the glacier, surprisingly, is not as thick as you might think. And I will say, though, the city, you can see parts of the city begin to kind of crumble along the edges. But not enough for this city will break and fall apart. No. This city has survived much worse in its lifetime. And as such, it bursts through the ceiling and through the glacier itself to a bright, brilliant, and warm sun shining down on it.
That'll buff out, a little bit of polishing.
You can
It'll be much easier to
Yeah, go ahead.
much easier to get into anything damaged once it's not in this cave. We'll be able to actually move resources to it, and I mean, could you imagine getting fresh material down to repair it while it was
Ew.
Or we could just move it to the materials.
Yeah. We can just steal a mountain. Let's do it.
So,
I know where there's one that's not occupied anymore. The one up north of Lonelywood.
Very useful.
So, Melon will say, we now have a city, a flying city at our disposal. Shall we make use of it?
I mean, to commit vengeance.
Yes, that's exactly what I was referring to. Actually. That is what I was sorry. I should not have been as vague as I was. Yes, specifically to commit vengeance.
I'm mostly in it to restore peace, because having that thing around is a little bit of a damper
This is
on
true. Yes, that is another motivation that we all share, I'm sure.
Well, whether you share it or not, it's gonna be a result.
I will say
That's
as
vaguely
well.
ominous, but alright.
Something I should mention as well. Some of the Yetis have actually moved into this city, so you don't have to go out and searching for them. They've set up burrows and dens in some of the deeper crevices of the city, so you do have the Yetis with you.
That's gonna be a privilege. I mean, that'll be fine. That won't have consequences if after we win.
No.
The great Kobold Yeti War.
It's like the Emu War, like from Australians had, but like 10 times worse.
Yeah. Like there's less embarrassment in losing a war against a pack of Yetis, I think.
Yeah, there is that.
If
So-
the emus are anything like Muerte,
So I have to tell you that I made an updated map. Updated as in like in quotation marks.
Glorious.
Yeah, big quotations. I've updated the map. So, you begin to fly the city towards where you remembered the lair of our Beatrice being. As a reminder, because you would have remembered I'd say you remember the vague location of where it was, but specifically you know the environment that it was in. So, our Beatrice is specifically, now she might have a couple other places that she might dwell in the tundra, but where she roosts is the lost ship, the Dark Duchess, which was the ship that you had found the other kobolds in, who were her servants, as well as her horde. Now, that ship is a good several hundred yards away from the shoreline in the sea of moving ice. So underneath that frozen sort of place, there is ocean, essentially. So there's a thick sheet of ice, that ship, and then that surrounding for like a good hundreds or so feet is just ice that right below is just frigid, freezing ocean water.
So probably don't land the ship. Or we could try to dunk her, but I don't know.
Dunk the dragon.
Yeah, just like drop on her. I'm sure she'll be fine. Honestly, I think. I don't think that'll do. I don't think a ram will do much, but it would be funny. Um, yeah. So we should. Is it just me, or do you think? Do you guys also think we should try to like lure her away from that? I don't know about fighting a dragon in its lair.
Right, I think that's a sound plan.
Yeah, definitely lead her out.
How fast? How fast is the city?
So the city moves at about a walking, about 30 feet per round. So about like walking pace. Also, you guys would be like down here technically.
Oh, so like it's just slowly floating over the.
Yeah, it's not. I don't. A city isn't fast. I'm sorry.
So it would take several
Yeah,
days
that's
to
fair.
get from where it is to where.
Right. So you would have some more time, a little bit
Time to
more time to
rest.
repair. It seems. I did misjudge that slightly, but yes,
Fair
Okay,
enough.
that's not
That
We
just
should
means I get
probably-
my spell slots back,
you do. You would get your spell slots back. So don't worry about that.
and then
I
I
was
would
gonna say we
recast them on the date of.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. Warding bond, death ward. I got you.
I was gonna say we should probably like actually stop by some of the towns and be like, yeah, this is not a thing you need to worry about.
Please
'Cause-
disperse.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Or I could just use sending as we're passing over, like Lonely Wood. Send to the lady who's in charge there as we're passing over. I don't remember the other places. Each place just send to the person that I know there that's like closest to in charge from what I met, just so that they can say as it's passing over, oh, that's the kobolds, they're just flying over, it's fine.
Indeed, I would say you could definitely do that, especially as you pass over certain cities like Tourmaline, as all like the you actually see all the kobolds run out and greet you all, like they're all just like waving and jumping on top of each other to wave you as you all go by. And all the town of Lonelywood, all cheering and throwing their hats up into the air. And the town of Bremen, where you see a lost boy reunited with his mother, both of them waving
Aw.
up at you. His soul restored from damnation.
By a miracle, a literal miracle. It's great to see.
A literal miracle. All the people that you've helped, all the people that you've saved, all of them see you off. And you get whatever supplies you need with the cost of the gold that you have remaining. So, I believe some of you required hand axes, looking over at a certain corner.
Yep.
Yeah, I also would have in this time purchased the platinum rings needed for warding bond, as
Yes.
well as the plate, half plate I'm wearing.
Absolutely.
I believe Canuck also has half plate, right?
Yep. Also pick that
As
up.
well as materials for spells.
Indeed.
That's this one's some materials.
Indeed.
Try to avoid material cost spells usually, but
And I've been making holy water like every day that I have a chance.
Oh, sure. If you yeah, for however many days you do it, I would say you could have done it over the 4 months too. As
Right.
long as you had the amount of gold to do it, just add however much holy water that is.
Yes, I have done that already.
Okay,
I
you've already
just
got that.
Back
Good.
to the gold and added the holy water.
Excellent. Good. Any last takers before we hurtle towards the impending doom?
probably need to get some like boxes to hold the stuff I took out of the bag of holding. Actually, wait, no, I had a bag of holding set aside for this bomb. That's right.
Yeah, I think you had 2 bags of holding specifically for this purpose.
Yes, that is true. All right. So we've gotten quite a few more vials of acid that I can use for just catapult. Yes. How to commit violence, I guess. I'm set up.
You're set up? Alright. Going once. Going twice.
Double checking one thing really quick.
Okay.
Um,
Holding.
hold!
Hold!
Hold! Okay. So I put warding bond on villain and savage,
Yes, okay.
and I
So-
have death ward on myself.
Okay.
I think that's all I need.
Bond on Savage and
What's the
Villain.
casting time on this? Yeah, don't need that.
Death Ward on Meepo. Okay.
I believe I have everything I need.
So to be fair, as long as
here's-
you're in the tower, you can move the city. So you could move up towards the study,
No, I'm not gonna cast that.
towards the balcony up above. You could move up there. As long as you're attuned to the Mythalore, you can pretty much move anywhere within the tower. Actually, hold on, let me double check to be sure. I actually, it might actually be anywhere within the city. But I need to make sure of that. So that'll be more holding on my part. Oops. Let's see. So there's some more things that you should know. So when you're on the same plane of existence as the Mythalore, you can use an action to cause it to fly any direction you choose at a speed of 30 feet. All matter within 500 feet of the device moves with it, so essentially the city. As an action, you cause one magic item you are holding within 30 feet of the Mythalore to immediately regain all expended charges or uses. A magic recharged in this manner cannot be recharged by the Mythalore until after the item regains charges on its own.
Oh!
You can also use it to cast Control Weather without requiring any components and without the need for you to be outdoors. This casting has a 50-mile wide radius, and for the duration of the spell's casting, you must be within 30 feet of the Mythalore.
Control weather. What's the duration of that's casting?
I think the
An
duration
hour?
is 8 hours for that.
I'm picturing like a really advanced, like a really complicated control weather that basically does skywrite over 50 miles.
Yeah. So
Advertisements.
as you can tell, this was one of the win conditions. Not the win condition, but one of the ways you could have reversed the rhyme.
Right.
But you guys killed Oral, so
we did it the direct way. You know, this would have been much more artificery to use a magic item for it, but no, we chose violence.
you chose violence, and it ended up working out for you. There's also one last thing that you should know. Touching the Mythalore. Any creature that touches the globe with the Mythalore must make a DC 22 con save, or take 20 d10 plus 70 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Undead have disadvantage on this saving throw. Any object that touches the globe, other than an artifact or the Mythalore's cradle, is disintegrated instantly. No saving throw.
What was that? 20 d10?
20 d10 plus 70. If a creature touches the Mythalore, essentially, the globe specifically.
I just want to see what that looks like in like.
Oh, okay,
actual
sure.
roll.
Let me roll it out for you. Like,
No. I'm rolling it now. It's thinking.
Okay, all right. I'd say you throw someone throws a rat in there, not Trickle, but just any old rat.
No, entirely trickled.
Scanuck just takes Trickle from Meepo's pocket, just hurls him in there. Me.
That kills
Yeet.
Meepo. If Meepo touches it, she's dead.
If Meepo touches, but you didn't. This was a hypothetical.
I didn't. This is a
I think
hypothetical.
if any of us touch that, we cease to exist. Holy.
But I wasn't kidding when I said you touch it, you die. When Everlast said that, he was
Here's
not
what
lying.
we do. We drop this on Arl. Or not on Arl.
I was
Well,
gonna
we do
ask, like, is this area like open, or is this like in a
It's-
building?
It's
Kinda-
surrounded by a force field.
Aw.
But keep in mind, you guys have the power to drop the force field. Now.
Like,
It
is
would also
temp-
drop the city
It would also drop this. Well, yeah, it would drop that.
if we launched the Mythalar out of it, the thing holding it aloft.
Yeah, it'd be a funny shitpost, but to hit her with that. But
To be fair, guys, you keep forgetting you have other ridiculous damage things at your disposal, i.e.,
This is true.
The scroll of the comet, the possibility of throwing a Tarrasque in it, but I think we decided to probably not do that. Maybe at a later time.
It's like saying, "Hey, we have a rat here. What should we do? I don't know. Let's release a python here." Oh yeah, then we'd have a python problem.
Right.
I was
right.
like, were we planning to go to Aurel's Island and unleash the Tarrasque there and like shout and like get our Veatrace there somehow? Or were we too worried that the Tarrasque would like Godzilla its way across the ocean floor and pop up elsewhere anyway?
I don't think we were trying to get it to fight our Veatrace. I think we were just going to release it there to watch it.
Yeah.
I think Meepo was against that. But if you guys do it when Meepo's not looking, there's nothing she can really do.
I am worried about it, just like that Pirates of the Caribbean scene, but a Tarrasque.
Just walking along the ocean floor, little air bubbles coming out of its nose.
It flips the island over and sticks it on its head. Alright, this is my hat now, going down underneath.
It uses it as the boat, the boat scenario, with the little bubble of air.
Oh no! How long until it gets bored or hungry enough to just walk around?
How many Tarrasques does it take to flip over an island?
Alright, so you guys make your way slowly. You still have maybe a couple more days of preparation, but you are slowly approaching the lair of our Veatrace.
If we can draw her out of her lair, do you think could we like comet her out of the sky? That would be a better save, right? Like if she's trying to miss getting hit while it's coming down, that'd be an easier save, I think. Because we have to, like, if we're going to use the comet, we've got to open with that, because that is a 500-foot radius crater.
Correct.
We are not dodging that.
Nope. Nor do you want to be hit by that.
Yeah.
Is that just an action to release the comet?
I believe
yeah.
so, yes.
By using an action to read the scroll, you cause a comet to fall from the sky and crash to the point crash to the ground at a point you can see up to 1 mile away.
You literally Sephiroth a monster. You're just and then just boom, comet.
It's like you open the scroll, it just says die. You say that, and the comet starts coming down, and you're like, oh, I get it.
All right, guys. Any last ideas?
I guess if we went after her while she was sleeping, because if we drop this on her lair, there's no lair anymore. Does that still count as a lair?
But what about the loot?
But what about the loot?
It's not about the loot anymore. It's about sending a message. Sure, you lose the loot, but it would be funny. I will say, for the purposes of this, anyone who wants to can roll an history or arcana check for me.
I'm thinking, do we try to, find her when she's not in the lair? Might be an 18. She apparently does naps. Just naps under snowbanks sometimes, so we want to try and...
just find a random snowbank and then crash on that.
Right?
Then you end up killing your werebear ally, and you're just like, no, how could we do this?
Oh no.
I would not be that evil. How would I?
He went out a metal way, though.
The next day I would just revive the werebear.
It's true, you would, but they would never forgive you. They would forgive you for bringing them back, but it's the principle thing. Anyway, let's see. With a 17 history for Meepo and a 22 total for... sorry.
18.
Right.
21 for me, and
Oh.
22 for Skunnock.
I would say, with a combined history of sort of draconic knowledge, I'd say for white dragons in particular, you have a feeling they might be. There's a chance they might be in their lair. If a white dragon specifically, is at rest, there will be, more likely than not, heavy wintry conditions, blizzard-like conditions. If the dragon is at rest, which explains the condition that you found Arveatrice in when she had surprised you underneath the snowbank. However, there is, of course, a big chance that she is not in her lair. She could be patrolling around the tundra. I would say I would make a secret roll on the side to see if the percentage chance that she is in fact there or not. And I would say it's more likely that she will be in her lair. You would know that because she would most likely there would be blizzard-like conditions. That would be your key sign. Okay.
One of the swords that's laying around in the city, that like from like the cultists or something, is used as the 25 gold piece.
I would say that's a suitable offering. A weapon of death.
Get rid of it.
Getting rid of it.
Destroyed.
You ask a single
That's not
question
a clever
concerning
one.
a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. GM offers a truthful reply. Go ahead.
I'm gonna wait until you've made that roll.
I have already made the roll.
Oh, okay. So if we go towards Arl's lair, will she?
Lair?
Sorry, I keep getting those two names confused
They're
for no
both
good
A's.
reason. That's the only reason. But Averitus's lair, will she be there?
Okay. All you hear is a single drip of water hitting the surface of a pond. And as you can almost hear the surface of this mind space pond kind of like rippling. And you can almost swear that you hear a cryptic phrase. The wind whips and braces as the beast rests and sleeps. Dark horizons for those who disturb it. That is the response that you receive.
All right, fellas, it sounds like we're storming the dragon's lair.
Oh. Oh.
All right, y'all.
Okay, look at it this way. Look at it this way. Can't get the lair advantage if there is no lair. Wait, hang on. Meepo,
Yeah?
those kobolds there that were
Yeah?
in the lair. Do you think they'd be able to get out if they got a warning?
I could always warn them now.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Like, if we sent a sending to them, do you think they could like slip away?
What should I tell them? You might want to run as far as you can, as fast as you can.
I mean, yeah, probably.
You do recall interactions that you've had with them. You would know the head of their little troop.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to send a message to them. What do you
I have the
say?
name down here. Let me double check. Maybe.
Also, you don't have to name a specific name. I'll say for the sake of time, you would know who you would send it to.
Right. I was just double checking for. I does not look like I have it.
Fair
Anyway.
enough. Excuse me. So
Uh,
you send the message. Sorry.
I send the message. This is Meepo Molo. We met. You're gonna want to run as far away and as fast as you can.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
And this
Oh,
would be
did I
like,
put the sending
just
spell up?
before we go in, right?
You didn't, but I know you were casting sending, so it's okay.
I'm gonna post it and remove the spell slot so I don't have that. And persuasion. Normal, right?
Normal persuasion.
Do we want to do this before we go in, like just before we go in, or like a day before? So we.
I'd probably do it a day before, because we'd have had time to be talking about that.
You would have.
Right.
I'd say it's only fair that you would have had.
I-
I did
yeah,
say.
I'm just
I did
thinking, like-
say you had several days to prepare. So
Yeah. I think like a gamble of having that spell slot versus her being a little bit more likely to have
Right.
noticed.
And also, it gives them time to run away.
Or-
But I'm going to use the divination spell slot, so that I will use.
okay. Fair enough. So we get a response back. Ah, yes, the great Arvatrace warned us about you. It said that she would kill you the next time she saw you. I'd rather not risk offending the great Arvatrace. and then it just rambles on, and then it cuts off after 25 words.
Your loss.
Yeah, their fear of Arvatrace might actually be their undoing.
Yeah, well,
We tried. We
You
did.
tried.
We
I
made
can
an
always raise him
honest,
back up afterwards.
genuine effort. That is true. We can always bring them back.
If there's even a body to retrieve.
I can just get a little stronger and then or just use a miracle. Who knows? There's all sorts of ways.
10 years later, Meepo brings them back from nothing.
Sorry
It's
about
like,
that.
"Ah, what? What?"
They're just screaming the entire time. Ah! Ah!
You could attempt to use a miracle to pull them away from the site.
I
Hey,
suppose that's
yeah,
true.
you
We're gonna
have.
save.
You
We're
have
gonna
a...
save the miracle for actual need of a miracle,
Okay, fair enough.
because it seems like something we would want. I could just like wish away a legendary save or two.
All right.
Uh.
So
All right, boys.
Anyway.
with that,
With that, I think.
where do you guys want to do like the actual fight? Like,
Where's the map
Then-
that we have that Savage
yes.
died on?
Yes, the one that Savage died on.
Ooh.
Gosh. That is a good question.
It was like snow, so
it might have just been like a big blank white.
I think it actually was. Hang on. Actually, I think I have the map right here. Yep, this is the one.
man, I forgot about the walrus. The
I
Akuma.
forgot. We got the walrus. We got a yeti. We got lost. It's all here. It's all here.
I don't know what that. Oh, that must be a tiny hut, maybe.
What are you laughing at?
We do have loss on the bottom left corner.
Oh my gosh. I
Got you on the last episode.
No!
Yes.
Well, that sounds like it's your loss.
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
That's something to save for the end when we beat a Beatrice.
Oh my gosh. Alright, okay, alright. So this is where you know what? I would, you know what, just out of spite, I'd say you don't even know where that spot was. Roll survival checks, all of you. Out of spite.
Okay.
Fair.
Damn it.
23.
Damn it. Damn it! God dang it! Come on! God, no! You, to be fair, the impression that it made on you... You're gonna say, what were you gonna say, Mike?
I could never forget that spot. We suffered such a great loss there.
Gosh, oh, I'm burning up. Jesus, take the wheel, for I don't have it anymore. The car has gone off the road onto the overpass, off the side, into the traffic below.
Oh, gee.
I'm done. Find a dungeon master. I'm out.
We've killed Evan.
We
We've
lost
killed
our
the
dungeon
DM.
master right before the final battle. What are we gonna do?
That means
I guess
you
we win.
No. All right. Okay. So
That's
you find the spot.
major loss.
You find the spot. As I said before, as you all have mentioned, you can never forget that spot. You suffered great tragedy there, so it's very difficult to forget it.
I know this is very emotional, but let's not lose our cool either.
I think that'll be tough fighting a white dragon.
Kind of hard to lose cool there.
Villain is just rubbing her temples and sighing very heavily. I just want to get this over with and live so we can start that Scanuckworks business, live our lives, and never
Yep.
have to do any adventuring ever again. At least I won't.
Speaking of living our lives, you all did get your rings of warming, right? Made enough for everyone?
Oh. I think I have it here somewhere.
I believe we do. I believe I do, yes.
Yep, frost resistance for everyone, because ow.
Oh, you even made one in my size.
This is true.
So,
Power of magic.
so now that we're here, we found this spot, obviously. But how are we going to lure the dragon, the white worm, to us?
Yeah, she's not going to see a skyrite, is she?
I think that is one of the few ways we couldn't get her attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are tales of the white worm losing her eyesight. Well, it'll probably work for any normal dragon, for her specifically.
Huh. I can just send to her.
Right, but
Oh no.
were we going to?
What are you going to
We're
what?
going to
I was thinking, like, okay, full disclosure. When I asked what map, where we were fighting her, I was wondering, like, in the city, because presumably we were going to meteor her, and then, like, she'd come for our, she'd step out of the crater and come for our asses in the city somewhere. I was wondering where in the city we should post up. But if we're not going to be meteoring her lair, or combating her lair, that's going to make this a bit trickier.
What if we just did that and ran?
I mean, we could just fly over with hawks.
and then meteor and then fly back to this location.
That's
How
all.
far away do we have to be for the meteor?
The range is up to a mile.
Oh. Are we within a mile?
Technically it would be, but you can see there is a storm brewing that direction.
Of course, it's going to be another blizzard.
Come on, could I really end it any other way?
That's
So the
that's for all the lost jokes.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's a fair.
It's actually completely in canon, actually. Like, that's actually, like, how white dragons... I'm not bullshitting. That's not some homebrew thing I pulled out of my butt.
That is white dragon
True.
area
Okay.
affecting.
It's a shame
So
we've
the minimum-
suffered such a loss of visibility.
You know what? I'm giving her full health. I'm giving her full hit points, like, all the way, all max,
you were
max
already
con.
doing that. We
You
already
already
knew
did
you were doing
that. You're not changing anything.
You have
I'm
no
just
power.
saying it
Yeah.
officially now and not bullshitting during the fight.
Yep, that's true. That's fair. Okay.
I'm being forthright as opposed to saying, "Oh, she's looking rough."
Yeah. Well, all right. The minimum distance is 500 feet, because that's the size of the. As far as I can tell, that's about how big this explosion is going to be.
Unless you're just like immune to damage, then you can just be on them.
Is that an option?
Not normally.
So far, though, Villain will say, I think the best
I
plan
could
right now.
cast a spell.
globe of invulnerability, and then meteor yourself.
Just T-pose.
That sounds
Yeah.
like something Skinnerluck would want to do someday.
If I had access to 8th level spell slots, oh my.
Well, perhaps one
That
day.
would be
Perhaps
one.
That's why
Well,
we're going to be
well,
going
no.
to business together. Villain will kind of like go up to you. Eventually, with my enough study, if I live that long, hopefully I'll gain the remaining remaining power needed to cast such high level magic. Hopefully.
Well, it's always a chance. What we could do. We do have a Mithril that can cast control weather over 50-mile radius.
You can.
There's also the option of like just going there and hitting her with meteor and then flying away on Hawks and assuming that Hawks is big enough she can see him.
You know, even if I'm not, then wherever we end up, I could just use my call lightning and make a bunch of lightning strikes, and surely she'll know something's up there. You know, the sound of lightning.
I like the sound of that. What do you guys think?
That sounds good to me. We gotta do something.
I do enjoy that I've used that call lightning more as like a get attention than like actually hitting people with it.
It's pretty
This entire-
good, not gonna lie.
So we're just talking shit to high level opponents. This is calling lightning.
So are we agreed then? We have a strategy. We've got a plan.
Yep.
Having Hawks able to fly will also help in the battle too, so it'd be nice to have that to start with.
Indeed. I can cast up to, I believe, I can get 2 more people to fly within the hour. Oh, sorry, but up to 10 minutes, I should say.
Muerte? And Savage?
Fun, could be fun.
I mean, again, I think everyone can ride
Right.
Hawks if need be.
Right, but of course, like, if someone else does need to fly, and needs the extra movement, I can provide it if need be. I can provide it at the same time, I should say.
I have my boots, so I'm okay.
I forgot about that.
So,
Oops.
let's get started then, shall we? And she's ready to cast Fly on you, Hawks.
Alright, I will enlarge.
With that, you will. And for the purposes of this, let me just copy everyone's character tokens onto this map, just so we have some continuity here.
Really preparing to do this?
I currently have 4 emboldening bonds to use, but hopefully we'll only need maybe 2. Probably just 1.
Maybe 2. Alright, that should be everyone who matters. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop.
Is it bright light out?
You know what? Let me roll for it. Hang on. Actually, something you could do. You could cast control weather to make it overcast.
That would help us
Yes.
as kobolds.
Yes, it would.
Sorry.
We
excuse
spent so long in perpetual twilight and/or underground that I forgot about that feature. That would have been bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
That's what we do.
that's what you do. So, kobolds, as you hurtle towards that location, I will say you use enough of the control weather, because you do have to be close to the Mizlar to cast control weather. And there is segments to control weather, like with a certain tiers where like it'll be 10 minutes and then another stage passes, another 10 minutes and another stage passes. So you can get a couple of stages into the control weather where it gets overcast, and it'll be a little bit of time before it gets back to normal conditions. So you manage to control the weather in such a way that it becomes overcast and maybe a little bit of snow, but not enough to reduce visibility. And then you soar out. And in that time, using that control weather, you reduce, you increase the amount of visibility to where you have a good idea of where the lair would be. I think at this point, we need some different music here. So, Kobolds, I'd say go ahead and make perception checks, all of you.
Oh.
17, 13.
I'm going to go ahead and use take a flash of genius on myself to bring that up to 19. Because that's a scary load.
Dang.
Guys, what are we doing? What's going on here?
A goose, a random goose just flies out of nowhere and just flaps right into your face, Scales, and you're like, ah!
Good savage.
Completely.
Yeah, that was savage.
Oh, that was savage? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, which is just basically ripping a goose in half or something.
Exactly. It just flaps into your face, Savage. But Savage catches and just starts chomping on it. I'd say with your group perception, you see in the distance the faintest outline, a speck in the distance, at least a mile away. The Dark Duchess, the Dragon's Lair, in perfect view.
Oh.
So, Kobolds, do you cast your spell? Do you use the scroll?
You guys ready?
Do it.
Let's commit some more crimes. I mean, yes.
I mean, what?
Let us unleash the comets.
All right.
Your honor, Skanek. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I don't know.
I'm actually gonna look
Scales,
away.
do you wanna?
Gladly.
All right, Scales.
Not Scales, sorry. Savage. I was asking Savage, yes. Savage. I'm sorry, yeah.
What was that you said, Savage?
Gladly.
Yeah, both of them are very glad to do so, but Scales will then hand it over to you, Savage. And Savage, as you if it
Skanek
actually
takes
is
out the clipboard and starts taking notes.
exactly as you have to actually pry open the scroll from centuries of rot and centuries of being frozen stiff, and yet it remains pliable enough without bending, without breaking. It actually is extremely difficult to force the scroll open, as if you can feel its very power building upward as it comes closer to being fully unrolled. And then, as you roll at the final edge, you see a single rune written in Draconic, with a triple meaning. But the most common one is death from above. And as you say the rune, as you say aloud this sacred and profane spell, the very atmosphere itself, the clouds disperse as a massive 500-foot wide comet, a shard of rock, descends from the heavens, a streak of fire emanating from above it, as it plummets towards the earth. it completely encapsulates the Dark Duchess and the area around it. A veritable mushroom cloud erupts from the source of impact. I need to actually get everyone to make a dexterity saving throw, just for fun. No actual damage here, because you guys are far enough away. As you can see, a tidal wave erupts from the source of the impact, and it begins to spread out all across the ice in all directions. A miniature tsunami. So, I think it's time I made a little saving throw for our good old friend, our Beatrice.
So here's my fun question: was she unconscious at the time?
Hold on. She was at rest, but she wasn't necessarily asleep. I rolled a pretty good perception check here. However, there's no way she could have really dodged that. So, except for perhaps diving underneath the water. However, let me see here. I gotta get her. I gotta break her stats out.
I kind of assume that she'd like burn a legendary save on this anyway, so it's like it doesn't.
In the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't matter all that much, but it's good to keep in mind some things. Yeah, this is everything you ever dreamed of, Skunk. This is your wildest fantasy come to life. Alright, so here we go. That's a 16. What is the DC the scroll says?
20.
20. That is a failure.
Oh,
Go ahead and roll out those delicious damage dice, my friend.
Yeah, let me go ahead and actually just post that for you guys.
Yeah, 30 d10. Okay. So as you can imagine, so you can't see her. Obviously, she is a mile away. But you have to reckon that would have really fucking hurt.
Oh, sorry.
And you see, emerging, erupting from a crack in the ice, from rather what little ice remains, rather, the surface of the frozen sea erupts as the figure of our Beatrice starts flying in your direction. What do you do, Kobolds?
Well, I will begin retreating towards the chosen combat zone.
I'm assuming it's a little bit of time before we get there,
A
so
little
I
bit.
need to do a melting bond again.
You would, yes.
Okay, I will do so. And do not forget that we have protective bond.
Rude. Rude.
And once
So,
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh.
No, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say a reminder, but that's all.
I think Michael was going to say something, though.
Alright, Michael, what were you gonna
nope, wasn't. Again,
say? Darn it! That's not your fault. That's my fault for saying something. In that case, for what I was going to say, you gather that she is flying quite fast. You notice that she tends to fly closer to the ground, about like 30 feet up from the ground, and she seems to know the general terrain, not from sight, you imagine, but just from the sheer draconic memory and a lifetime of living here. She knows the general layout of the terrain and seems to be kind of like get a general sense of like where she's going. But she has a very, very fast flying speed. So she is catching up to you very quickly. And I'd say you get about to that spot of where Savage was killed before she's probably around, I'd say, maybe like a good, maybe around 5 or so rounds away from you.
we're so rounds away. Okay.
Okay, then I've already cast Death Ward on myself and Warding Bond on those other two. 5 rounds. I think I would probably
Have that last 5 rounds. Got the cannon, that's how.
faith on Hawks.
Oh, thank you.
Like 2 rounds from arrival. So that or no, it's 10 minutes. That's fine.
When she gets closer,
Mm-hmm.
I want to use a bonus action and invoke the Storm Rune.
Okay.
But otherwise, that's my only preparation.
I would wait until right before she gets here, and then also cast Sanctuary on myself using my
I will say,
ability of Elbath.
during this time as well, you hear a roaring in the distance as a war cry of Yetis sounds out behind you. They're gonna take, I believe, like a round or two, like a round or two after our Veda Trace gets here, perhaps, but they will arrive.
That's good.
They saw the signal.
Exactly. How could you not see it?
Just a column of fire and smoke.
Fire, smoke, and then ice and water.
Yep, that's them. That's it.
The death signal. Okay. Any last preparations you want to get off before
Blink
Showtime?
lasts for a minute.
I think I'm
Blink
good.
could be a fun spell to have prepared to have set off. That's not even concentration.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
How is Blink not concentration?
Is it?
Because it has a chance of failing, that's why.
Oh yeah, but like I've also got a chance to not be on the material plane where I can get my ass beat. So you know I'm happy about that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you actually learned Blink. Oh, that's
Well,
fun.
last minute.
That was the thing. I got that for the hags. I didn't realize it would be a non-concentration spell. That'd be so good.
Anyway,
Yes. Anyway.
and emboldening bond is also going off.
Alright. Lightning begins to crack at your surface, and just as the sunlight begins to pour in, the storm rune creates a 100-foot wide radius. Oh, is it a 100-foot radius or a 100-foot diameter cloud for call lightning?
I wasn't using Call Lightning in this case. I'm activating the Storm Rune. Not the Storm Rune that's on my axe, but the Storm Rune from being a Rune Knight.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because it seems like she's showing up, right? It seems like she's coming without needing a signal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think I'm just going to prep with this.
Okay. Alright, guys. I think then the time is now. Roll for initiative.
Let's go ahead and stands up.
The final initiative of this campaign.
We hope. Well, okay.
He's a bit off the map here.
Is initiative an ability check?
It is
Yes.
actually.
I'm gonna re-roll that with my Storm Rune.
Wow. How how fitting. How fitting.
Okay, so I'm at a 10.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah.
Wait, you mean I actually would have beaten her anyway?
Yeah, you beat her anyway. She rolled.
A
You
nat
rolled
one.
a 1, man.
She rolled a
Ah.
nat 1 initiative. To be fair, a comet just fell on top of her. I think we can understand why.
Did the body
No one's-
survive? The one that's on her back?
What do you think?
I don't think it did.
Oh, Oh, she mad. Oh, she mad.
She's.
You see a singed saddle on her back as she descends, koon, and crashes into the ground. I remember your scent. I said I would kill you the next time that I saw you. And I killed one of you already. I'll just do it again for what you have taken from me. You killed my friend. The irony completely lost on her as her
I'm
friend.
sorry to tell you that he's been dead for a really long time.
Roll a
You're
persuasion check.
This is an intervention.
And by intervention, I mean that it's an intervention on your life, and you're going to be joining them soon.
You see the roomy eyes suddenly fill with glacial tears. No, that's not true. That is impossible. No! I'll kill you! I'll kill all of you! You will all break underneath my claws! I will rend your very flesh and freeze you to your bones! But tell us how
So
you
this
really
is the-
feel, Valen says.
So I suppose this is the anger stage.
Valin, your knees are knocking.
No, they're not. It definitely isn't a defense mechanism. It makes sense that she rolled a 9.
It's okay, Flynn. It's quite respectable.
So,
You're standing here. At least you're standing.
first up in the initiative order is you, Meepo Molo. Oh, yes.
Is she within 120 feet?
Of who?
The group.
Yes, she's within 70 feet.
Okay. So I stated that my preparation as she was coming nearer was going to be until when she gets within 120 feet of us, I would cast Sickening Radiance centered on her head.
Sickening Radiance, okay. Okay. So Sickening Radiance, is that at the start of a creature's turn?
As it enters the spell's area for the first time.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so let's see here. Is that a con save?
I think it is. Kip, can you post the spell for us?
Sure. Let me. I'm pretty sure it is too. Okay, it is a con save. Okay. Does a soft 20 beat it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so a 30-foot radius, you said. Let's see here. Centered on her head. So let's see. It's when she got within 100 range, you said? Was she got within that range?
Yeah, when she got within 120 feet range.
Okay, so she would have passed by that range and then landed here, so she would be out of the radius now. But she would have gone through it. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, so because she passed, she didn't take any effects from it.
Ah, that is unfortunate. That is one of the drawbacks of Sickening Radiance, even though it's a very cool spell. Unfortunate, but Meepo, it is your go.
Kobold instincts activate. Everyone scatter. But stay close.
Hells!
Right, you cast invisibility on yourself.
I'm using the Charm of Invisibility. I think I got that from the purple.
I believe you did from the purple pair, yes.
So there's my invisibility, using the charm as opposed to my usual use of the... because I just wanted to use it. And then I'm going to move from where I am. Let's see, she's over there. I want to be within 30 feet of everyone so that I can still get... Oh, let me measure that out again. I have a 40-foot move speed, so I'm going to move to there. And then, that's my action to do that, right?
That is your action, yes.
So that's my turn. I used Sanctuary on myself already, and I already had the other thing going, so I'm
Okay.
gonna mark those on my character sheet.
In that case,
Or my
Skanuk, Ratbiter, it is your turn.
You think it'd be inappropriate to change my name to Dragonbiter after this? I guess I haven't bitten her. That's probably the line. Yeah. Let's start off strong.
Hold monster. Okay. And what is this? Let's see. That is a wisdom saving throw. Okay.
DC 18.
Okay.
Would have been better to combo with himself in the word.
That is a 19, unfortunately. Or, yeah, 19, unfortunately.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Okay.
But a good try, though.
Yeah.
As you
Not quite yet.
hold aloft the Staff of Power, you can see the gleam of Areolarthus's shattered gem begin to glow, and you hear a pow as the spell sputters.
Ah, dang it. Ah, that's. Hang on, I got that. I'm just gonna pull out a turn. Not a turn. Pull out like some tools just like try and tinker with it.
Yeah.
Actually,
You put out some like Arcana WD-40 on it.
yep. Carry a bit over that way, and cannon is going to fire at her.
All right.
This is a force cannon because force cannon is just fun. Where is my cannon? Force ballista. 25 to hit.
A 25 hits. Ooh.
20 force damage.
And she gets pushed back 5 feet. Because it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't matter that she's large either. Or, sorry, not doesn't matter that she's gargantuan.
Nope. The cannon don't care. The cannon don't respect enough to care about size.
No respect at all.
Yep. That's gonna be my turn, I guess.
All right.
I'd say that I'm bracing for the inevitable frost breath, but I don't think that's actually an action I can take now. So yeah.
All right. Fair enough. She is going to use a legendary action. She is going to. You see as her wings beat the air around it. Now you guys are too far away for the wing attack, but she is going to move up to half her speed. Let me double check something here. Let's see. Oh, the second radius is like too far away at this point, Meepo.
Oh, okay.
Let me double check this. Legendary action. Up to half its flying speed. Okay, so that's very specific. Okay, so it can move up to 40 feet. Which we'll use to get... Let me see here. I'm going to say it's going to go right here. Right there. Alright, that's your turn. That is Huerte's turn next. For the life that you have stolen that we have gained back, you will not steal it again. On my death! Muerte will charge our Beatrice. Well, actually, she can go through allies. She will do. Try and get just...
Uses Hawks as a springboard.
Yeah, boing. So yeah, Muerte is going to unload all of her might on this dragon. With advantage. Oof. Unfortunately, 17 does not break through the massive armored plates of this ancient white dragon. But she is trying her best. She is a flurry of beak and talon. That is her turn, though. And at the end of her turn... let's see here... Yeah, another legendary action is going to be used for a tail attack. Let's see. Against. Ooh. I have a long reach of this. This is fun. It's between you. It's between Merte and Hawks. I'm gonna roll a D2. 1 is Hawks, 2 is Merte. Merte it is. It's a 29 to hit Merte. Which will be... Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. 23 points of bludgeoning damage to Merte.
Before you take off her health, does she has less than her max currently?
Merte does. I need to fix that. Good, thank you for calling that out. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, I just noticed it.
Okay, well, good, thank you for calling that out. Let me fix that. Okay, now I can subtract. Thank you. Perfect. Alright, legendary action done. Savage.
Savage is going to... There it is.
So, you rage. You feel that bestial energy bubbling up within you once more.
So, as I rage, I'm going to climb straight up Hawks's back with my climb speed.
Alright.
It's like Wolverine, or not Wolverine, but like Sabretooth style, just run up on all fours up Hawks's back and attempt to jump onto Arveatrace.
Okay. Alright, with that, I would say, for the purpose of this, go ahead and make like a grapple check for me. Do an athletics check. Okay, 23. And for this, our Arveatrace will need to make an acrobatics check. Because this isn't so much like trying to shake you off as it is trying to avoid you jumping on her. Let's see here. As a 2. And you jump right on top of her head, leaping off of Hawks' back. And she just she bucks and thrashes, trying to get you off. Foul little insect, I killed you once, I'll do it again!
I'll take you with me this time.
Alrighty. Let's see here. That was, I'd say, I'll count it as like 1 attack. If you want to make 1 attack, I'll let you do that.
Recklessly.
Reckless. 26 will definitely hit with the claw. Alright. 12 points of bludgeoning damage. As you just bop her right in her head, just and yeah, like it knocks her head down a few inches from the sheer impact of the blow. Alrighty, is that your turn, Savage?
Yeah.
Alright, Scales, it's your turn.
Talk about mood swings.
Okay. Beatrice, prepare to get buried.
Alright, next saving throw. She will remove Oh, okay. She will remove 8 from her next saving throw.
Oh, she's not. So
Grovel.
Wait a second.
Let me double check Grovel.
Wait, this is There's not much
Yeah,
stuff.
she is not going to let that happen. She's gonna burn a legendary resist off that. She's not going to let her turn be wasted.
That's too.
No one tells me to kneel. You will kneel before me! Is that your turn, Scales?
Yes.
Hox Hagnar, it's your turn.
How conveniently adjacent to me you are. So, first things first, I am going to use my bonus action to activate Giant's Might. So now I have both Enlarge and Giant's Might on, and the Storm Rune still has 9/10 of a minute. I am then going to Action Surge,
Okay.
and I am going to make 5 attacks and then attempt to grapple. So, this is not at advantage, but Bop.
18? Wait, hold on. You have Emboldening Bond, correct?
Yes.
Okay, roll that real quick. Okay, with that, we'll
21.
hit then.
Alright. 28.
28 will hit.
26.
26 will also hit.
17 will not hit, and I can't embolden that up.
That will miss. Another 28 though.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all of my attacks. Because of Enlarge, that'll be 5d4 more damage, and one of them will get an additional d8 from Giant's Might.
Is it 5d4 or 44 since only 4 of them hit?
Only 4 hit. 4d4, you're correct, yes. So 9 more, and then a single d8 for Giant's Might. So 15, 25, 32, 39, 40, 53. 53 damage.
53 damage. Oof. That is... Oof.
And I have a grapple attempt, which I have advantage on for Giant's Might.
Okay.
So I have an advantage strength check.
Oh my god. Alright, well. Let me see if she gets nat 20, or, you know. What's her basic strength? She is grappled.
So I'm going to put her in a headlock.
Okay.
You ain't going anywhere.
Release me, you parasite. You are not worthy to lick my claws.
We're fighting on the same scale here now, so if you think I'm a parasite, you're down at my level.
Ass.
That is Hawks' turn.
No, he cannot, unfortunately, clamp her mouth shut.
Sorrow. No, it's been nice knowing for. And skills.
That means it's Valen's turn. Let me see here. She's learned a lot of new tricks. Which one can help out the most in this situation? Traces. There's actually not a lot here that can probably help her. In this case, I think she's going to be a bit more proactive and cast mirror image on herself at first right now. And she's going to get... Actually, no, she won't do that. She's going to try and cast... She's actually going to cast Fly on... Let's see here. Because the other previous Fly would have run out by now. Yeah, so that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna be support in this scenario. A creature it's a touch range, so she's gonna try and get in range of Scales and Hawks. Let's see here. So, Scale. Oh, actually no. Scales already has flying. So shit, that doesn't work. Instead,
Can she get around and go through Hawks' space to get to Muerte?
she can. That's her next. That's what she has to do right now if she wants to get both people. So she's gonna do that. So Hawks and Muerte get fly. She's gonna use the rest of her movement to try and get out this way. But she doesn't have a whole lot of movement that she can work with. Yeah. Okay. That's all she can really do at this moment. And now it is Arveatrice the White Worm's turn. So she is grapple, which means she can't move. So she's gonna punish everyone that made her day miserable here. Let's see here.
Self-harm is not the answer. Real quick, before you do this,
Yes.
I should have rolled blink. The end of my turn.
Yeah,
because it's not a.
You would have cast
It's not a thing
it,
that protects me.
You would have cast it, so...
I mean,
go
yeah, I
ahead and roll
cast it before she showed up, but I forgot to actually like roll it. So 15 means that Canuck is on the ethereal plane.
it. Excellent. That means one less target to deal with.
Let's dexterity save.
Double check this. How wide is this cone actually? It's actually a 90-foot cone.
Ah. Snuck is very surprised by this.
Okay,
That's
my
not-
laptop is doing something very weird where it's like adjusting the screen upward when I'm trying to rotate this
Yeah.
thing.
I'm not even seeing the code in this list, actually.
It should be there. I see it on the stream, so let's see here.
I see 60.
I mean, like,
but
I
don't-
see the
90.
code, but I don't see a. Yeah, I see it only goes up to 60 on the list.
Yeah,
That's fine.
so yeah, this is gonna be the only one she gets in this are gonna be Hawks and Scales. Yeah, I need both of you to make Constitution saving throws for me.
But that's only a 60-foot cone.
Right, but I don't have the templates I have don't go up to 90.
She would probably get my turret.
Did you get your turret then? Okay.
Yeah, she would definitely. I mean, like.
Yeah, it would
could
get
be-
her. Probably would have gotten you too if it hadn't.
Yep.
Blink saved your day.
Yep, it did.
Blink saved my entire career. I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I got hit by a 90-foot cone of dragon breath.
Meepo rushes over here, turns back to see what's going on, sees all that happen, and then sees the ice go out and goes, "Oh."
So, do you guys want to test your luck?
I can re-roll that with an Indomitable.
You know, I actually would.
Oh wait, hold on. You're on the ethereal plane, aren't you?
I can still see.
Okay, so I'm probably failing that either way.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna-
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Scales has 20,
Right.
21.
So I've got a 12, and then +3 for the emboldening bond. I've got a 15.
Are you going to use it? Are you going to use Flash and Genius, Skinnock?
I can't. I probably can't get Hawks up out of that. No, I don't.
15 to 20.
You're not going to?
I actually can attempt another reroll from the Storm Rune. I can use my reaction
Ah.
to force myself to make a reroll as well. So Indomitable forces a reroll not as a reaction, just in general, and I can use my reaction to do this one. So
Okay.
might as well. And that's much better.
Okay. That is
Yeah,
much
yeah.
better.
But that was my reaction.
So you declared that you weren't going to use Flash of Genius. So a 21 for scales. That is what that total is, right? 21.
Hmm.
A 21 just misses the mark of DC 22 con save.
Ah, shit.
So Scales takes 83 points of cold damage.
Is he down again?
We all have resistance from the
Ah, yes,
Yep.
you're right.
Rings
hold
of
on.
Warming.
Resistance. Oh wait, Ring of Warming.
Who all got
Yep.
that?
That
Everybody
was
in the group.
Canuck was making that was like mass producing those as part of the sales scheme, so everyone would have gotten one.
So I take quarter damage.
Oh.
No, you failed the save Scales.
Oh.
A 21 fails, just barely.
Okay.
Yeah, it was DC 22.
That's 41 damage. And then Hawks passed with a 25.
25, yes.
So it's cut down to 41 and then cut down again to 20.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that is our Beatrice's turn.
I might actually use something here before we go on past that. Let me double check how it's worded before I do anything.
I would say it's a bit too late for that.
No, it's not. It's not going to change anything with the damage or anything. When a creature affected by your emboldening bond feature is about to take damage, a second bonded creature within 30 feet of the first can use its reaction to teleport to a space within 5 feet and take all the damage instead. So if anybody wants to do that and they're close enough, they can do that to take scales damage or...
Scales is okay. Do not worry.
I'm not able to do that, but I could do it with Hawks's if Hawks wants me to take some damage. But
No, don't. Hawks has plenty of health. That was
yeah, I figured you would. I was just looking at that, and this is about the time where that would affect it. So I just making sure you guys know that that's there.
Yeah, I would consider it if I hadn't. First off, didn't have her grappled, and second off,
yeah, that's true.
I also used my reaction to actually pass that. So
Well, I don't think you move. I think the other person moves next to you, and then basically like tanks it for you.
Either way, it is your turn.
Either way, nobody's doing it. It is my turn.
It is your turn.
Okay. So Scales took 40 something damage, and so did Hawks.
Hawks took only 20.
Hawks took only 20. Okay, we're good then. Concentrating already on Shield of Faith. So what do I want to do? I'm going to... I don't want to cast that yet. I guess I'll do Healing Word on... How far out is this? 60 feet? I know I can get Hawks. I think I can get... Yeah, I'll use Healing Word at a second level on scales.
All right.
That's a bonus action. And then an action dodge. And I'm gonna move. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Yeah. I'm gonna move here. So it's 2d4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. So 9 healing to scales, and I am dodging.
Okay. At the end of your turn. I need to double check the wording on something. I see. Okay. Okay. So, okay, never mind. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to use a legendary action to take a swipe at one of you, specifically with a tail attack against Villain. With a 32 to hit.
Can the Cloud Rune return a hit to yourself?
No, it has to
Um,
be to another
another
creature, I
creature.
believe, correct?
Yeah, so the Cloud Rune can't redirect an attack to the creature that made it, and also I
Okay.
don't have a reaction anyway.
That's
Right
true.
now.
Where's that goose that flew into Sat?
I'd say you have like the body of it, like just like kind of like on your side.
Have the goose and just like
It turns into a puff of feathers.
No, it's already dead. It's not alive.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
I'm
it's
saying
still a
if we
creature.
had
It's still a
kept the
creature.
goose,
No,
it's
no, it
dead.
has to. No,
It's-
no. I'm gonna ex-nay that right now. Not
That's
letting you
something you
cheese
should consider
that
in the
bit.
future.
You're already cheesing it a little bit right now.
Wait, no, trickle.
No.
It
Not
is
yet.
a living creature.
That's what we should do. We should carry around like cages with rats in them, just to.
No,
That's
that
what
is
Skinnet
that. Okay, you know
do.
what? You know what?
That's
You know what?
That's bullshit. Yes, I'm more.
You know what? Finishing what I started, Villian's getting hit for. Not a lot, actually. 13 points of damage. However, she does have to roll
It's
concentration. Right, warding bond. Which means you take half of that as well.
Mm-hmm. I take 7 damage.
7.
6 damage.
Oh no, it is 6. It's 6.
And I have to make a con save.
So does Villain. Oof, she no longer has fly up.
Oh, I no longer have Shield of Faith up.
That's unfortunate. That's not an unfortunate thing, second.
That is unfortunate. That's so legendary action done. Skunnock, it is your turn.
All right, I return to the material plane. I look to the left. My cannon has been reduced to dust.
Mm-hmm.
Gone, reduced to atoms.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Actually,
And-
just like frozen solid, and it looks like a rock.
Yep, just gone. It's not among us anymore. Let's see. Well,
Process.
yeah, honestly. How many legendary resistances has she blown?
2 so far
Oh,
Who's so
right, because
far?
she used one on the
on the command.
comet.
True. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna make her throw another one. If at all possible. I'm going to cast. Do I want to cast it? Or do I want to... Yeah, I'm going to pop a bead off of my fireball necklace and I'm gonna chuck it at her.
What's the distance that you can throw?
Good question. I might be moving a lot closer in that case. Where was that one?
Because I would be very careful of your allies and the ones on top,
Let's
specifically
see.
on top of a rage race's head right now.
60 feet, so it needs to be. I would need to be actually quite close because I need to be at least. Right, I would need to lower it here, which means I need to be here. Okay, which is probably too far away for me to get this turn. So instead, I'm probably going to be casting the spell if it's got a longer range. Yes, the Fireball spell has a 150-foot range. So I'll be casting that.
Mm-hmm.
So that it hits, like, you know, the back
The back end,
back
yeah.
edge.
Hits her butt.
Yep. Let's see. I'm going to be using the.
Mm.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll just be rolling all of them. Well, you know, I can use the staff for this. It does more damage. Gotta do a lot of damage. So that will be, let's see, for 35 damage, half by whatever save she makes.
She is not going to be making that save. She is not going to burn a legendary on that one either.
Oh,
She's got health to spare.
well. Don't die, feel so. Let's see. Really should have used the. Let's use the summon bones. Oh well. Let's see. Bonus actions include. Well, no, instead of bonus actions, it's not like walk. Walk over here, I think. 30 foot speed. Over to here, hopefully back within emboldening range. Yeah, I don't know, bonus action, so I'm
Yep,
just gonna.
you're good. You're within emboldening range.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yep. Hopefully, 16. Gone from this reality.
Shipper. Gone. Alright. End of turn. And she can't use her wing attack. Actually, no. Hold on. She could, but she wouldn't be able to use. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. I need Hawks, Savage, and Muerte to make dexterity saving throws for me. Actually, wait, no. Actually, no. Villain needs to make one as well, actually. She's just within range. So I need some dex saves all around.
Wow, you're in range, though.
Villain.
Black safe ain't gonna fix that.
She does take half damage.
She will.
Is Scales involved in these?
Not this one. It's within 15 feet of her, so Scales is out of range.
Okay.
Okay, that added girl Muerte.
Oh, Savage also takes half damage.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, you have warding bond on both of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means you'd actually be taking both of their damages.
Yeah.
I see. Good to know. Let's see here. Hawks, you failed to save. So does Scales and Villain. You guys are knocked prone.
Steven, you can't use warding bond that way.
Say what?
Warding bond ends early if you cast it in again, affecting one of the
does
two
it?
creatures.
Oh. I didn't know that.
I'd say
I've never cast it before.
Okay, in that case, we'll just say
I would say it on Villain.
on Villain. Okay, good clarification.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay, so in that case,
Since I already took the damage from Villain and hadn't had anything from Savage yet, that way we don't have to retcon anything.
Indeed, yeah, 2d6 plus.
And
So for
I
those of
gain
you who
back
failed
a
to save,
slot.
you take 16 points of bludgeoning damage and fall prone. The grapple is broken. And you, Savage, you fall off of her head.
Then villain would take 8, right?
Glenn would take 8 instead, correct.
Would the grapple be broken?
Hey, that's a good question. I might be wrong on that. Hang on.
So grappled ends if an effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grappler, or the grappling effect. It ends if the grappler is incapacitated, and prone.
Prone just means the advantage on attacks or disadvantage on ranged attacks or whatever, and half movement.
Prone creature's only movement option is to crawl unless it stands
Okay, no,
up.
never mind.
Creature has-
Let's see. So being knocked prone does not break grapple. Okay. Okay, so you still technically have a grapple, but you are prone.
laying on the ground with my arms like clinging to her neck. And you said that was 16 damage?
16 damage, correct.
You like blew out like a flag for a second.
Still wrestling.
Here to turn it. Yeah, turn it into an RKO out of nowhere.
Alright, Morte's turn. Morte's going off. Okay, 22 will actually hit our Beatrice. 5 slashing, 5 lightning. The session might go on a bit longer, you guys, if that's okay.
Fine by me.
I should be
That's
okay.
Is that good for you, Caleb?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking in. Okay, excellent. Savage, is your turn. You are knocked off of the head of the creature.
Okay.
So I'd say you're like right there.
Okay. I'm going to use my movement to climb back onto a Beatrice.
All right, you're gonna have to make another. This will be a bit of a different check. This will be actually composed athletics this time.
Okay. Because of my ability, I can climb difficult surfaces without requiring an ability check.
Keep in mind, this is not a surface. This is a creature. Keep that in mind. This is an
Okay.
opposing entity. Keep that in mind. So go ahead and make an athletics check for me, though. And I'm not forgetting the Yeti army. They're approaching next turn. That is a natural 20, unfortunately.
Definitely does not climb on. Okay. And I will just do. I'll make 3 attacks then.
I'd say the attempt was used at one of your attacks.
Okay.
25 will definitely hit. And so does a 22. 17 points of damage. Excellent, excellent, excellent. You watch as Scale as you try and jump up on Arveatrice, she kind of shoulder checks you out of the way, but before she can bump you out, you just gouge her with her claws and she roars in pain. Alright, is that your turn, Savage? You happy with where you are?
Stay right there.
Alright, Scales, it is your turn.
I'm going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna use my move to go over here. And then I'm going to again say, believe you me, by the end of today, you will be on the ground below us.
Alright. Okay. That is a 20 minus 4 for 16.
That fails. As I say, now grovel.
She can't afford to. She's gonna burn it. She's gonna burn another legendary.
Legendaries are done.
We hope.
Let's go, guys.
Now it's time for the special.
Alrighty.
That's my turn.
Hawks Hagnar. You're on the ground, like just like, you know, holding this creature's head, kinda like just smacking your hand on the other side, trying to keep your balance as she tries to wrestle from your grasp.
Well, first off, I'll use my half movement to stand up.
Alright.
And I'm going to maintain my grapple. I am going to Draconic Roar right in her face.
She roars in
And,
return.
Hawks is going to yell out, "You know, the ancestors of the people who taught me how to fight had a beef with your kind. And I think that means that I've got plenty of scores to settle with you. Generations and generations of scores." And I will attempt to bop her 3 times.
Alright, smack her.
Bop.
That hits.
Bop.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
It's a
So,
massacre.
so the first one gets a d4 on it
Mm-hmm.
for a 9. The second one will get 2d4 and 2d8 on it
Alright.
added to it. So 3 and 4, so 7 plus 16 is 23. So 9 and 23 is 31. And the last one will get a d4 on it, making it an 8. So that'll be 39 magical slashing.
Okay.
So I will lay into her with the axe. And I've already used my bonus action. She's roared, so anyone who doesn't already get advantage for me being next to her will now also have advantage.
Alrighty. It's now Valin's turn. Seeing that she doesn't want to get in the mix of things, that kind of hurt a little bit. She's gonna skedaddle over yonder, over this way.
Wise.
Let's see. What fun things can she do here? She learned so many new things, but they don't help in this instance. Actually, perhaps I need to double check something. Need to double check a spell. Let's see here. Okay. You'll see Valin take out the spellbook of Ariel Larthus as she starts flipping pages. This really is more of an insult to injury at this point, but I might as well just add on to it, just in case she breaks it. Darkness of the Ebon Star, hear my call. Reach from beyond, I call upon you! As she will cast Evard's Black Tentacles. And a radius, 20-foot square. Let's see here. Will appear on the ground. I just need to get that template. Actually, I don't need a template. I can just make a thing. Of course, my laptop is deciding that now it wants to mess with me. So 1, 2, 3, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So not that. Okay, so I don't hit Savage. 5, 10, 15, 20. Perfect. 5, 10, 15, 20. right around there. As squelching black tentacles appear out of the ether and start dragging into Arvatrace. So Arvatrace needs to make a dexterity saving throw, which she's not very good at. Hold on. I don't know if a plus messed with anything there. 10. So if she fails, she is in fact restrained by the tentacles until the spell ends. She also takes 3d6 bludgeoning damage. Alrighty. So she is restrained and grappled at 2 separate sources. Okay, so that's Valin's turn. Now it's back to Arvatrace's turn. She's mad. She looks to you, Hawks, and goes, "You call that a roar? This is a roar. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw as she uses her frightful presence."
Is this against
Unless
fear?
you're
This is
immune
against
being
fear.
That was the wrong thing for me to put up. Advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the frightened condition.
This is for Valin.
This is a wisdom.
This is a wisdom saving throw, correct?
18
Okay.
with emboldening bond, bringing it up to 20.
Okay. I need to roll for a Muerte. Okay. So if you rolled a 16 or below, you are considered afraid. So Valin and Skinnock are the only ones that actually failed this saving throw.
Scales. Or Savage.
No, 16 just beats it.
Oh, okay.
If you roll it below a 16, essentially.
You said 16 or below, so
Did I
was...
say that? Oh, I'm dumb then.
Okay.
Forgive me, sorry about that, guys. So let's see.
Also, even if it was a 16, there would still
Oh.
be an emboldening roll, so it would be guaranteed at least a +1,
Yep.
I think.
Oh, right.
It'll be an
Yeah.
automatic win then.
Except I don't think I got to embolden Savage because of limited numbers.
We have it's proficiency bonus, isn't it?
Are you in another... You're in the ethereal plane.
That is true.
Does that count?
I'd
don't
say
know.
because you could flash a genius to someone, I would say this would count as well.
Fair.
Ethereal plane is weird, right? Because it's like you're not really in a different place. You're just kind of on a different frequency or some shit. I
It's
don't
weird.
really know.
It's weird how it works. It has its own rules.
That's fair. Anyway.
Anyway, still being Arvatrace's turn, she is going to use her three attacks. She's going to use one of them to try and shove you, Hawks. I need you to make a strength check for me. Strength athletics check, specifically. Or acrobatics, your choice.
And you already used your emboldening thing. Oh, there you go. That's
Pretty good.
it's not good, actually.
I mean, it's good. It's a good roll for it.
You can get a nat 20, or roll higher than that.
It's not good.
Go ahead, Hawks. See, roll your roll of destiny. You suplexed a god!
I hear
Mike, are
advantage
you
for
there?
being a giant, right?
Mike, are you there?
Did he use
Oh.
your roar?
Mike?
Hello?
I guess I can
Hello?
go and see if he's okay. Be
Uh,
right back.
The roar destroyed his headset.
Yeah, I'll go check on him.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, okay. But Michael actually just went to check on you. I didn't realize you had left the table.
Sorry, I thought I could step away and get back before anything else happened.
Yeah, she used one of her attacks to shove you. She got a nat 20 on that, but you still have a chance to perhaps beat that.
So first things first, that's a skill check. So I'm going to use my reaction with the Storm Rune to force...
Do you have a reaction?
I
Yes,
have a reaction, yes, because my turn just happened. So that will have a disadvantage instead, so she'll have to re-roll that.
Motherfucker. 18.
And I also have advantage on the athletics check for being giant, so 28.
Okay.
So she does not shove me.
Alright. Fuck it, she's doing it again.
Okay.
I'm mad!
The salts.
I'm actually salty right now. Fuck!
I've got a plus 11. I've got a plus 11 on this, so
God, motherfucker!
hold fast.
I'm doing it again! God, motherfucker! God damn it!
Hawks is just like, are you alright down there?
He just tightens her grip.
The dreaded white worm! Our Vertrace, the death from above, reduced to a child's plaything!
You're not going anywhere!
He just tightens the headlock a bit, her eyes pop out like a squeaky toy.
Like, well,
Like a rubber chicken.
like a rubber chicken.
Has Ox been hurt, aside from the breath attack?
He took a slap from the thing that knocked him prone.
Oh, the wind. Right.
Okay. That's her turn. Meepo, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm moving in.
Okay.
I'm going to use my 40-foot movement speed to get right behind Hawks.
Keeping in mind that forcing me to use my reaction means that I couldn't attempt the stone rune on her, which I think would probably make you a lot saltier.
You know what? You're right. It would've.
Okay, so I'm going to is that an action? Yeah, that's an action. Then I'll use my action to hold a spell for when my allies are all within 30 feet of me. I'll say, gather around everyone, I gotta do something. And Skanek would have to be in this plane, but if he's not in this plane, I'll still cast it.
I will be on this plane shortly because I need to hop back in as I.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Spell.
I almost forgot. Continue doing your turn, but I need to roll something real quick. Okay.
Oh,
the
wait,
Yetis pop up into the scene.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The spell that
actually,
I'm going...
As a point of order, I automatically roll to go back if at the end of my turn. I can't not. So I don't know if you want to try it this turn or not. I don't
right.
know, just
if you even if you're not coming back, I'm casting it.
Fair.
Like after. Let's see. Is your turn first or Scales?
Fine.
Yeah. Well, after Scales' turn, I'm casting it no matter what.
Fair enough.
So, the spell I'm going to be casting is Beacon of Hope.
Alrighty. Excellent. Okay. So that's your turn, Meepo? You said? Because you're holding your you're holding your action. Okay. At the end of your turn. Just out of range. So salty. I'm so salty right now. But I'm also I'm frustrated, but I'm proud. I'm happy that you guys. I'm happy that you guys are having fun. I'm so happy. I see.
It's too bad there aren't any towers nearby for me to jump off of.
Maybe I should have got Temple of the Gods.
Oh gosh.
No, that takes too long to cast. It wouldn't work.
It does. Alright, you know what? I'm smacking you upside the head, Hawks. For the legendary action tail attack. 22.
22. My armor class is 21 because the Shield of Faith, was it? The other
It's
thing,
gone.
the plus 2 AC is gone. So yes, that will hit me.
Alright. You're gonna take 22 points of bludgeoning damage.
Pretty good roll.
Yeah, so that was legendary action. Scunnock, it's your turn.
So, it is time. It's time for the fuckery.
Before the fuckery starts, I forgot to make a saving throw for her for the black tentacles to see if she took some more damage, which she does. So she takes, I almost forgot. She takes 12 more bludgeoning damage. Okay, continue. Continue with the fuckery.
So, I'm going to pull out the special bag of holding that we discussed.
We did discuss this.
Yes. And I am going to...
We discussed this, but would you like to describe?
Yeah.
Would you like to describe this? What you have here?
Canuck pulls out a seemingly normal bag of holding. This one created by his alchemical infusion. It is, it's a fairly standard item, just a little knapsack, but it's got a strange contraption of metal springs and clamps around it, almost like a reversed bear trap, sealing it shut. He will wind it, just like laboriously wind a handle on the side of it, then chuck it in the air and cast catapult on it to activate it.
All right. So she is restrained. So she has disadvantage on dexterity saves.
Yep. Now I don't know that we don't have to do the catapult damage itself if you don't want to, but like
probably not going to do the catapult damage, but it is a lot of acid damage.
Yep, I will drop the spell slot.
Yep.
Yes,
absolutely.
As it shoots through the air, the bag unfurls, releasing a cloud of. Let's see, it would be a single barrel of the anti-dragon fluid that we found in that giant ruin, as well as a cloud of 50 vials of acid.
I forgot about that.
So she fails the saving throw with a 6, a disadvantage. So, for those of you at home, I've made my players very powerful. I've given them a lot of cool toys. I like to make my players feel powerful sometimes, and though it frustrates me, I do love a good fuckery. So she takes, I believe, with the cap that we declared was 32d4. From the roll that you had made?
Yes. Yep. It's going to go ahead and type out that 32d4.
It's gonna roll max. Watch this.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a miracle.
If 32d4s all roll 4, that would be
More than the comet did.
That's a lot of 4s.
That is a lot of 4s, though.
There's a lot of 4s.
I will take it. I don't even
threes
care.
as
I
well.
don't even care if it's max or not. It feels so good to finally use that one.
So
yeah.
A number of things happen here. First comes the acid damage, which is terrible in its own right. You see some of her armor itself, like her skin begins to burn. You can smell burning dragon, not burning through your nostrils, Hawks and Savage. And then you see that canister that spills out over her draconic form. And you see her eyes kind of like dilate slightly, with a little bit of like roominess kind of like fading away ever so slightly as she realizes what's going on. What is this? What's wrong? I feel it's all wrong. It's She needs to make a con save at disadvantage, and she doesn't get her con bonus from this, and she couldn't use her legendary resistance on this even if she wanted to.
Oh.
I waited so long.
Wow.
17. That's gonna be a failure.
Well, hitting her would have been harder with the legendary saves, so.
She takes 48 points of necrotic damage.
Oh,
Ooh.
you've already done more than the comet, I think.
And you watch as her wings begin to melt away and burn and sizzle and become useless lumps of cartilage. And you see her area near her chest begin to turn black and blue. And she coughs up a column of smoke in your face, Hawks, which you kind of have to waft away. She no longer can use her breath weapon.
Well,
And she loses her flying speed.
I won't do the like the cackle that I did for the fireball, but Skinnock is, because I'm aware that was probably quite annoying. But Skinnock is in fact laughing his head off. He has gone fully crazed.
Oh no, I don't keep in mind. Keep in mind, even though I'm frustrated by the fact that this is going this way, if only because like it's this ancient dragon is being reduced to a chump. If you guys are having fun with this and the fact that you're curb stomping this a little bit, I'm enjoying that on its own. Keep that in mind.
listen, I derived so much pleasure from Hawks jumping off the tower with Arl, just being able to do the same sort of thing to our Beatrice. First off, this is exactly how kobolds would conceive of fighting something way more powerful than themselves.
Absolutely.
Second off, yeah.
Meepo's just kind of like moving around, just going, alright, everybody good? Everybody good? Okay, we're good.
We good?
Okay.
We good? Alright, well, that was your turn, I assume.
That was my action.
That was your action of your turn, yes.
I could. You know what? I'm willing to pass that. I'm willing to pass that. Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
Bonus action,
move a little
take
bit
notes.
closer.
Are
Yeah,
you
bonus
afraid?
action, take notes.
Are you afraid?
Oh, I am afraid. I can't move closer to you. I was here.
You
I was
were
in
within
range. I was
you
25
were
feet away.
within range, yeah. As long as you stay on the plane.
Sure. For sure. Okay, so I will make the wisdom save for that.
You can repeat,
For that,
you can repeat the save at the end of your turn, yeah.
Yep. Beat that. The end of my turn. I don't have a cannon on hand. Because life be that way.
Life sometimes
Let's
is
see.
like that.
R1d20. I vanish from this phone.
Shaboop.
Okay. So you won't be affected by this, but you haven't really been hit anyway, so it's not like it is all that important.
Canuck fades out. Like his like still laughing mouth is the last thing to vanish.
Cheshire, Skinnock.
It's not Huerte's turn. Oh, well, it would be at least if she didn't take another legendary action to smack you across the head, Hawks.
Sorry.
Oof, that's a natural one, though. That's an automatic miss. Yeah, as she sees her flesh burning and turning against itself, she screams in agony as the tail just flails past your head, whiffing you completely, Hawks. Meaning it's Huerte's turn. This is
Still in
pure
effect.
revenge happening here. This is pure vengeance. 25 and 2 nat 1s for that one attack. That's unfortunate, but she does hit with 1. 10 points of lightning. Or 10 points of slashing, 6 lightning. Was that 19? No, it wasn't. Okay. End of Huerte's turn. Another legendary action, smack you again, Hawks. At this point, you are the source of her frustration and anger. That's 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
Alright, you take 21 points of bludgeoning damage. Which means, Savage, it's your turn.
I'm gonna stop trying to climb it and just hit it.
Alright.
Two misses and a hit.
Indeed. You don't have. Do you have emboldening bond on you?
No.
Steven said
No.
no.
Oh, Steven said no.
No.
Okay, so yeah, that's. Oh,
You know what?
Oh yeah.
One of those gets a +5. One of those misses. I think either of them would. Probably the 19, but I think either of them would hit.
Yeah.
Either-
Yeah. Okay.
Which-
In that case, roll the damage for one more attack. Okay, -16. You can see she is looking extremely hurt. With everything that has been done to her. She has survived centuries, thousands, perhaps of years. Well, not thousands, but like hundreds and hundreds of years throughout these ages. And yet she's being brought low by a bunch of kobolds in her eyes. The humiliation seeps across her face. As it comes to your turn, Scales, with your unsettling words. Oh, perfect.
Oh. Oh.
And she has no more legendary saves. Here we go. That is a 26 minus 8, which is 18.
That meets my DC.
No! That just passes!
Wait a second. Let me check something here. I want to see if emboldening bond works in reverse.
It does not.
It does not. I think you're thinking
Still-
of Bane.
Yeah, Bane is the opposite of Bless.
Still, prismatic spray has half on fail. So
Yeah.
Also, inspiration can be used. No, that's a specific bard. I think inspiration can be used on that sort of thing. I think for a specific bard.
So 4. So that is poison damage.
And he takes poison damage reduced by half.
Alright, go ahead and roll that damage.
Well, at least it's not cold.
At least, yeah, exactly. This is not cold. Okay.
That would have been bad. That would have been unfortunate.
So that's
19 points of poison.
damage.
19 points of poison damage. You can see there is actual fear seeping into this ancient creature's eyes for perhaps the first time in its long life. As you run away.
imagine being hit by a beam of light so garish it does poison damage to you.
You know what? I actually didn't roll for the past turn. If you cut her,
It's
so
like-
back, she didn't.
That's gotta be several levels beyond, like, psychic.
Seriously, oh my gosh. All right, Hawks. Oh wait, no. Before I do, is that your turn, Scales? Just to make sure.
That is the end of my turn.
Hawks Agnar, it is your turn.
Ipomolo casting Beacon of Hope.
On all allies within range, which is 30 feet.
I'm immediately going to take advantage of that by using my second wind. So that D10 will be max, so I will get 10 plus my fighter level. I will get 23 points of healing out of that. Which is not an insubstantial amount of healing. The Draconic Roar will end after this turn, but I still have it for my own attacks. And so I will make 3 more attacks. Bop. 19, I will embolden that.
With the emboldening bond, that will hit.
Okay, 14 slashing. 26,
26 also hits.
and a 17 will miss. So there's 2 d4s get added to that for being big. And then one of them will get a d8 added to it for being even bigger. So that's 11, 20, 34 magical slashing damage. As Hawks lays into her with this axe, while
Okay.
he's got his other arm around her neck.
Okay. She comes ever closer to death's door, perhaps the first time in an age. It's now Valin's turn. Valin has some magic left in her. You see as she brings up her finger, and you see lightning cackling through. She kind of like holds it for a minute, but then realizes the danger is too much for she to hold it. I would really love for you all to get the finishing blow. I hope you don't mind me stealing this one from you.
Well, why don't you just hold your action just to make sure?
I could. All right. I'll hold it for now. It's not my revenge to take, and she will hold her action for a lightning bolt. It's now Beatrice's turn.
Dexterity save.
Yep, dexterity save.
Can you imagine if the Black Tentacles got her? I don't know how old she is, but like...
She's really... Somehow that didn't kill her. Oh my god.
For the record, I'm going to try to make sure Savage gets the final blow.
Alright.
That is my stated intention at this point.
Yeah, Meepo's not gonna do it.
The Storm Rune is still active. I will give him advantage on an attack, if that's what it takes.
Alright, here's what's gonna happen. She's in her full-out desperation. She no longer can deal any damage, like to a significant degree to kill. She's just gonna try and get out of this grapple. It's the only thing that she can do. She is going to run like a coward, but she has to break it first. So, give me an athletics check, Oxagnar.
30.
Give me another athletics check.
30.
Give me one more athletics check!
25. I will just casually hold on to this dragon for you, Scales. Or, Savage.
I want you to know that if I still had Flash of Genius, I would have given you another 30. But I don't.
Alright. Mipomolo, it's your turn.
Let's see. I'm concentrating. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to use my, what do you call, Channel Divinity. This one here, Balm of Peace. I also am using the Beacon of Hope, so that's maxed.
That's 12 plus your wisdom modifier.
Yeah, which is 5, so 17. So 17 to Hawks into myself. I'm back at full.
Ox is back up to 95.
I move my movement speed up to my speed. Right. 2 creatures within 5 feet of me. So I go over to Gales and then to Savage. So they get 17. And I end up here. And then I'm going to use is anybody look severely hurt still?
Villain.
Villain. I'll use she didn't get my Beacon of Hope. She was out of range, so I'll use this second level healing word on her.
Okay.
So I think that's a bonus action, right?
That's a bonus action, yes.
Yeah. So that's 2d4 plus 5
Correct.
to villain. Eldath's peace be with you. Oh, low roll. Anyway.
That's alright, I'll take it. She continues to hold the power of the spell in her hand.
That's my turn. I've used everything I have. Actually, I still have movement, but I'm not gonna move away from the dragon. So.
Alright. Legendary action. Tail attack. This is going to go for... You know what? Yeah, it's gonna be at Hawks. Solid. 24 to hit you, Hawks.
That'll hit.
You take 16 points of bludgeoning damage. Skunnock, it's your turn.
Oh. Uh,
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
The
that would
Yetis
be-
didn't go. I'm so sorry. I thought I put them
Oh,
on
that's
initiative
true.
order. They
Yeah,
had
you
to
can.
take. They're gonna like they're like dashing up this way essentially.
mhm.
I would say Scales if you want to like command them on your turn. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry they came so late. But you can command them on your turn if you wish. When it gets to it. But yeah, so I continue, Skunnock. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know, I kind of want to summon. I kind of want to do this earlier, but I just forgot to almost. Random bullshit, go.
So you summon the construct. What does your construct look like?
My construct looks like a towering, towering humanoid figure of steel, of steel and brass plating with gear covered in gears and cogs, all hissing and clanging, and glows with a sinister red light from within.
Where you summoning this bad boy?
Going to summon him here because it's got a range of 90 feet, being just objectively better than Conjure M's. I'm sorry, that was salty. Yeah, and my order for him will be like pin her down. Which
Just
is
add
probably the
insult to
must-be
just add insult to injury.
Yep.
Actually, it's a medium creature, right?
True.
Right. So actually, it couldn't grapple a gargantuan creature.
I guess. Help Savage. Help Savage.
Help Savage,
Would
right.
be my.
So, gives it the help action. Gotcha. All right.
Yep.
So Muerte, it's Muerte's turn. For the first time, her first instinct is not to attack, but to run up to Savage, and pull her up onto her back, and to hold her action on Savage's turn to strike together. Which means, well, of course, as 2 turns go, two of the last legendary actions that she can possibly do. One is going to be at Muerte, one is going to be at Savage. The first one at Savage.
I'm giving her disadvantage on this with the Storm Rune.
Alright, that's 28 both ways.
That'll hit for half damage.
Alright, and oh wait, no, that was just disadvantage on the first attack. So that's a 28 for Muerte then.
Let me double check.
That's right. I forgot.
It's when
Doesn't-
you or another creature makes an attack roll, a saving throw, or an ability check, not attack action. So yes, it would only be the first one with disadvantage.
Okay. So, Savage, you take 17 reduced down to 8.
Warding bond. I forgot. Oh wait, no, he's raging.
Okay, he's rating, and plus it's only on Berlin, the warning bond. Remember
Right.
that.
I was warning that I posted that, and then I remembered that it only works on blood.
Alright, so, despite all of her rage, she is no match against Savage. Savage, it is your turn. Riding Muerte, as you both strike together. Go ahead and make your attacks with advantage.
I pull out my longsword for this one.
Shing! A trusty blade. Roll a destiny. Let's go. 24 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. 11 points. Alright, and Merte will strike with you. But it may not even be needed. Sure, Muerte may have got in some good blows. But she didn't get the killing blow. You did, Savage. How does Savage, the kobold once killed by this now pitiful creature that lies before you, how do you end Arveatrace's life, Savage?
As Hawks is holding Ray Trace's neck in the grapple, her mouth is laying agape. As I jump into it, onto her tongue with my sword, I ram it up her skull and tickle her brain cells.
And it's just enough for the tip of the sword to breach ever so slightly through the top of her head. And Arveatrace lets out one last roar of defiance as her head and her body slumped to the ground. And Arveatrace, the white worm, is dead.
Well, that's enough violence for me.
Villain will just kind of walk over. See, I told you going down to the Yithrin was worth it. Look at all we... Whew.
The lightning just fizzles out in her hand.
And she just goes, she just like shoots it off to the side. So, kobolds. I suppose I'll ask you one at a time. Where do you see your kobolds' lives heading out from this point on? This may not be the end of their adventures, but for the foreseeable future, as we draw this campaign to a close, let's start with Meepo Molo. Where does Meepo's journey lead her?
Meepo is going to stay in 10 towns for a bit. She's going to travel from town to town, helping people who were harmed by Arl and Beatrice and all of that, and keeping the peace between the towns. Perhaps setting up like an emergency ration system or something like that for times where like something similar happens again.
Mm-hmm.
She's also setting up a new holiday for Eldath that instead of like First Flow, which is the only other holiday that Eldath has, it's going to be First Fall. So it's going to be when the snow first falls and things start to freeze over. It's sort of a wish for a peaceful winter. The holiday is kind of like handing off from Eldath to Arl, because while Arl was an enemy, she is still a god, so Meepo wants to keep peace with her, if at all possible, between her and Eldath. And so the idea is they celebrate the peace that they've had, and then they hope for peace in the harsh times as they like do like ice sculptures to honor Arl and sort of wintry kind of holiday that you would expect. I think I have notes on it here that I can post, but other than that general idea, Meepo is just basically going to be around trying to help and keeping an eye on the Dale.
Excellent. And I'll say that as the solstice comes again for the next winter, perhaps out of a sheer awe for what mortals have accomplished, the followers of Oral dare not tread in 10 towns again. For all the efforts of you all, and of those of 10 towns themselves. Where does Mr. Hawks's journeys lead him?
So, Hawks actually has some unfinished business he needs to attend to. There's actually a pretty good reason he's been adventuring this entire time. I'm not finding the term for it right now. If I grab my copy of the Monster Manual, I could look it up.
Mm-hmm.
But, for stone giants, in their society, when they're laid to rest in a communal cave and become one with the cave walls. However, Hawks's mentor, the person who taught him to be a rune knight, is one who stayed on the surface for too long and became a dream walker, and would therefore be considered tainted or corrupted or basically outside of what would be acceptable for society. So Hawks is hoping that on this adventure he'll have found enough stuff he can take back of trophies, effectively, of his own adventures to kind of prove his master's basically worthiness of returning into stone giant society and being laid to rest with his family. So that's actually the reason he's been out here this entire time, is in hopes that he could do something noteworthy enough that his name would carry enough weight, like Drist's does, for instance, that he could make a case for his mentor and help Halstein Olafsson find rest with the rest of his clan instead of cast out and on his own. So I think he's hoping to take some trophies of Arveatris, as well as the spindle, and take them back basically as reclaimed items for giant kind as an offering.
And the giants do accept your offerings. Now, the spindle is stuck in Yithrin. However, I, of course, would assume that you would allow the giants of Halstein clan, at least look at it and observe it and record it, of which, just that alone, of that piece of lost Asturian history, is enough that they would greatly consider your offer. And not only that, considering your giant size and the magic that you wield of the lost soul of a frost giant, you're practically part giant on your own. And with that, I'd say that you earn a place among the stone giants, should you wish to take it, and learn more from their people.
I think that Hawks at this point is content with getting his master back into Stone Giant Society, because he does have a vested curiosity in, flying around the world in a flying city and seeing what kind of nonsense that comes out to. So he'd probably spend, like a month doing the giant stuff, and then he'd come back to the Kobold crew and presumably follow Skinnock.
And I'll say, during your travels throughout the world, Hawks, at one point in time, you get a letter. It's not really much of a letter, even. It's like, you do get a package at one point in time. And all it has on it is an inked paw print of a panther. And written in common. You just see the phrase, "Good work."
I mean, if it's in Undercommon as well, I could read it. But he might not know that.
It is actually in common, and you say signed a friend. You don't know who sent it, but you have a good idea. Skinnock Ratbiter. where does your journey take you?
Let's see. I think Skanak would devote himself to fixing up, fixing up Yithrin and converting it into a giant workshop of a sorts. Workshop city, we'll say. I don't know if I'd really go for a full school, but I would definitely be willing to take apprentices. Until I had enough for faculty, I suppose. And yes, my goal is to prove that artificery is just as valid as more traditional sorceries. And I think I've achieved it.
Indeed.
But there's always more to learn.
Indeed.
Always.
There's always more to learn indeed. In fact, as you convert Yithrin into this almost Forge-esque city, Everlast does come to you one point and comes up with a few ideas for improving the city. Along with an idea eventually, if the wizards couldn't do it, perhaps you could. To find a way to traverse to even the stars, should you desire it. And of
That's
course,
definitely on the docket.
Oh, definitely on the docket for sure. And Velin, of course, is very happy to go alongside you, as partially as apprentice, as she tries to learn a little bit of artificery herself.
The first step is getting a good cackle done.
Absolutely.
Also
After
works
that,
really well
I'll
for
stick to
necromancers.
It does. Yeah,
It's
you
true.
got a labor force. You have undead skeletons.
Undead skeletons and automatons working in unison. Yeah. See, you're already halfway there.
See, I'm learning.
Thawing out all the bodies that were frozen from like
Oh yeah,
the
from the cultists.
the cultists, and using them as labor force. It's like, look, ready frozen zombies.
For Scales, despite the fact that the Yetis came in a little bit later, they witnessed the death and destruction of a rage race at the hands of the Kobolds. And this band of Yetis now sees your group as not quite gods, but something near akin to them. So you have these Yetis at your beck and call. So where does Scales see his journey taking them with these groups of Yetis?
Scales would realign himself into a pack or a herd of Yeti and travel the tundra, building an alliance between the packs. Essentially using influence of the elimination of evade trace as fuel to become a sort of abominable Yeti of sorts. A leader of the Yeti without being abominable.
Indeed. And I'll say, given your persuasiveness and your knack for convincing, just overall, your general demeanor, despite your general unease and anxiety, you have grown a lot over your journey. And given that confidence that you've learned, you managed to amass a large swath of Yeti tribes that integrate with each other. And some of them eventually begin to get more into the idea of peace in general. And along with perhaps some help from Mipa Molo, gently nudging here or there.
I'm learning Yeti from Scales.
And eventually, a not quite a nation, but a small city-state of Yeti eventually becomes formed. just from Scales' efforts, deep in the heart of the Dale. And last, but certainly not least, Savage. With Muerte at your side, where does your journey take you?
To the heart of the tundra, with their trace no more. Muerte and I lay claim to her territory.
Of which part of that is a smoldering wreckage. But the vast territory that is lay unclaimed, you have to fight off those who would perhaps take over in Arveaturace's absence. Would-be white dragons, seeing Arveaturace's reign ended. But they are no match for you. As by killing Arveaturace, Savage probably would have leveled up like 4 or 5 times. But with Muerte at your side, you are both an unstoppable force. Very few can stand in your way. And although you don't quite find the treasure that was lost that day from the Horde. Oh, is that what you're divining?
I'm using Divine Intervention. I was typing it up to. Let's see.
All right, roll a destiny. Here we go. Ah!
Not that day,
Not that day.
but eventually, probably.
Eventually.
For the next,
It's like,
I'd probably do it like 3 or 4 times just to try it.
I'll give you 3 more.
That's getting lower.
It's getting lower.
one.
Dude,
No, perhaps next campaign. Perhaps.
I just want to. Oh, okay. I got greedy.
But yeah. As for now, the campaign draws to a close. For now. If you guys have been watching up to the very beginning, thank you very much for doing so. And this wouldn't have been possible without, of course, my dear friends, who I asked to help. I've asked if I could stream this whole campaign, and agreed. We all said yes. I'm not sure what lies on the horizon for this channel, because I don't know if I'm going to stream the next campaigns that are coming up. I know there's going to be a one-shot for my group, but I don't know. We'll have to talk about it. I don't know if we'll stream that or not. But until the next time that I do stream, I wish everyone a wonderful night. I hope you all stay safe wherever you are. Thank you. And until next time, bye-bye.
Peace.
Have a good night. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for everything.
Farewell.
It's been a long road. No, I guess not.
It's been a long road. All right.
That's all, folks.
Blip, blip. All right. Goodbye, everyone.